Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. Once again, I am your host, Josh Lilquist. In the last segment, we covered some topics as far as markets at all-time highs, but income strategies, no matter which way this market goes. Right. There's strategies for up markets, there's strategies for down markets, and how to make smart decisions in any direction. And we had a lot of people calling in and actually texting in for this power trading workshop that we're giving away seats to, simply to come into this power trading workshop to understand these techniques and concepts that we're talking about on the radio here. Simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210, and that'll be for 2 seats, one for you and one for a friend. Text investing to the number 210-210. When you do that, you'll get a text right back, and it'll be a link to our landing page. You can pick your own date there. We have these classes during the day, also some in the evening, weekdays and weekends, so anybody can attend. So simply text investing to the number 210-210, or just go to investingandtradinglive.com and you can pick your own date there, as well as a calendar, and you can pick what makes the most sense on your schedule. We're also coming to a neighborhood near you. We're doing these classes at our local academy here in Bloomington. We have these classes all across the metro as well, so make sure to pick a location that's close to your home and see how these markets work, and hopefully making a plan and starting that plan and taking action in your financial future. Also, we do appreciate all the subscribers and followers on the podcast. That's Investing and Trading Live, wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. As I mentioned every single week, we are trying to make these the global #1 podcast on the financial markets. We got a good start, but we got a little ways to go, so we appreciate all of the followers there. By the way, all that's free, so that's pretty cool about podcasts, is you can just simply go there and subscribe and listen to the updates that we give on almost on a daily basis. Or if you miss part of the show, catch some of the outtakes there. So, Al, with this next segment here, with markets at all-time highs, like we had mentioned on the last segment, there are still great opportunities with retirement accounts. But there's a lot of people that have retirement accounts managed by somebody else, and they're just not sure what's happening with those, for one. But really, they're not at ease. They're not comfortable having somebody else, a stranger, if you think about it, dictate their future. So with retirement accounts and retirement strategies, how do you help people be comfortable making their own decisions in those financial markets with those IRAs, 401ks, and all those different retirement accounts?
Well, I think, to keep it simple, the people that are truly successful as traders and investors just simply have an advantage, an edge, an advantage over other people. So you need to make sure if you're going to be trading or investing, you have an advantage, and it's not the person on the other side of the trade from you or the investment from you that has the advantage. Learning how to read a price chart is really that's the beginning part of it. That's our core strategy, our investment strategy is designed to teach you how to not only read a price chart, develop the skills to be really precise at picking the right entry point. I mentioned before that the important thing is identifying when price is going to move in your direction, and then also how far is it going to go to give you enough profit to benefit from this. So there's a number of things that we do, starting with looking at everybody as an individual, because everyone has different goals, different objectives. People start from different points, and people need different amounts of money to live the lifestyle that they want. So, I guess a good question to ask yourself is, are you at a point right now where you can continue in retirement to live the lifestyle that you're living now, or maybe even increase that? Josh, I want to tell a little bit of a story here.
Let's hear it.
Because I think this really exemplifies what's happening to a lot of people out there. You mentioned a lot of people give their money to somebody to invest. Typically, your retirement money, even though somebody is supposedly managing it, they really aren't. You're making the decisions in your retirement accounts. The 401k, the 403bs that people rely on have really let people down. We've got a market that has been hitting new highs repeatedly, but the 401ks haven't been keeping up. And here's what the story I wanted to tell you. I met with a woman the other day, and she is in her, I think she was 67. Her husband is almost 80, both retired, and their 401k, they've gone through most of it because there wasn't that much there to begin with. Her question now, her concern is she's been listening to the news, and you see like the dock workers over a course of 3 years are getting a 60-some% increase in their salary. The same thing happened with the UPS drivers maybe about a year ago or 6 months ago. They got a huge increase in their salary and their take-home pay. And she said, I'm living on Social Security. She says, I get my Social Security is about $1,000 a month. My husband's about $2,000 a month. We're not getting that kind of increase. All these people that are getting these huge increases in their salary, that's going to impact inflation. That's going to impact the cost of what it will take for my husband and I to live. She was really concerned. She's scared. We're not getting enough of an increase to make it through. My husband might have another 5, 10 years. I might have 20, 30 years. Who knows? But we're really scared, and we see the rest of the world, or at least part of it, moving ahead, and we're not participating. So number one, you have to make sure you can't control Social Security. It is what it is. It will be what it will be, but it will probably be less than what you're getting now. So her situation might even get worse down the road. But what you can control is the savings that you have, your retirement savings, your retirement accounts. A lot of people feel comfortable giving it to someone else and just hoping that enough will be there. But you're giving it to someone that might have 300 or 400 other clients that they're dealing with. How often can they spend time on you and on your portfolio? Unless you have, $5, 10, $20 million with them, you may be kind of put on the back burner. So our goal is to help people to determine what's best for them, what they need in retirement, and then we can give you the knowledge. We can show you what can be done, what the opportunities are, but you have to take that first step. And the first step might be coming into one of these classes, so you don't end up in a situation like the woman I just mentioned. She's afraid. She's really concerned about her future, and she's coming in to become a student here to try to turn things around.
Yeah. And what's pretty cool about the markets, as you were talking about and alluding to, is you actually dictate everything. You can, right? So one of the things I just want to clarify and just make sure, I mentioned, the part of the question was, how do you help people make those comfortable decisions? So let's just say, as an example, let's just say a person has, doesn't matter how much, 100,000, 500, 1,000, a couple million, 10 million, doesn't really matter. We'll just say a retirement account. Now, if you have somebody else managing it and you want them to do some of it, great, that's fine. You don't have to take your whole portfolio if you don't want to.
Correct.
You're not required to take the whole thing. So maybe you want to take a piece of that. And so you have a smaller amount of money, and then psychologically, it's not as tough of a decision, make your own decisions in there, because it's not like your whole portfolio. So even though it's a stranger and they're just putting money in the market and just hoping it goes up, but if you're able to do that yourself with a small amount of money, build that confidence, right? Build that consistency and say, hey, you know what? I can do this.
Sure.
Right?
Why aren't people aware of that?
Well, it's because they're not told they're to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you think that would be in Wall Street's best interest to have people with that kind of knowledge?
Yeah. Well, the problem is the reason is because if Wall Street, or when we refer as Wall Street, that's your broker, your advisor, whoever. It's just a money manager. When if you take your money out of the market from their holding, they're no longer collecting a fee. So that's why it's not their best interest to say, hey, go direct this yourself, or maybe take a piece of it and do some different opportunities, because you might have more opportunities. You mentioned the lady that was, potentially going to struggle, but coming into these classes to start that process, to learn the skills, and then maybe start with a little bit. And that's probably what you guys have talked about, is start with a small amount of money.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is. A small amount of money is relative. Maybe it's $2,000. Maybe it's 10. Maybe it's 20. Maybe it's 50. But you're not risking the whole thing.
Yep. What
we train and teach here at the Academy is to take whatever capital that you're going to start with and then use leverage or buying power, so you're using a smaller amount of that capital, and it'll do more. Essentially, you can do more with less as well.
Yeah, you're maximizing the value of your investment dollars. It's something that people use in their everyday life, but they don't know how to use it in the financial markets.
Exactly, and that's why we have these retirement investing classes. So if you're near retirement and thinking about it, or you are retired and you want to do different things and manage things yourself, but you want to do that comfortably, come into one of these retirement investing classes. We have these classes several times per week. Matter of fact, Al teaches these, I teach these as well, and go over the concepts. What do you have access to in that retirement account? Could be a 401k, could be an IRA, maybe you have a 403b, TSP, whatever that account is. There's different things that you can and can't do with those, and at least you might know more about it to make a more informed decision. and that might actually help you sleep better at night. So I want to invite you to one of these retirement investing classes. These classes are about 2 hours long, and like I said, it's just 2 hours of your time. Would it be advantageous to take 2 hours of your time to at least know more about something and then hopefully have a better opportunity later on? But you got to start today. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 for the retirement investing class. Text investing to the number 210-210. When you do that, you get a text right back and you get a link to our landing page. You can pick your own date there. We'll also make sure you get a call so we get the dates and times correct for you and that works best for your schedule. So text investing to the number 210-210 or go to investingandtradinglive.com and pick your own date there. Al, we got another segment to go. A lot more to discuss about these markets with all-time highs and the opportunities that are there for us. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.